What's cracking? What's cracking? Huh?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
How do I sound on your end? Is it all right?
Yeah, you sound great. You sound great.
I just slapped on the Bluetooth because this shit was out. Hey, man. Okay, shit. Well, I'll run the intro. I was just yapping, bro. This is LSDMTHC. I'm glad you actually had time to hop on, bro.
Of course, dude.
I'll let you introduce yourself and tell me where you from. This is the first song off the gate I heard from you. I make music too, and it was
Yeah,
bumping, and then I just went from there, man.
appreciate that, bro. This song right here, the "I Love My Sex," is actually I stole it from the producer Benny Benassi.
No, I don't think I do. I don't listen to much EDM, to be honest.
Okay,
I listen to more like house kind of stuff sometimes.
nice. Well, he has a famous song called "Satisfaction." It's like push me and then just touch me till I can't
That
get.
okay, that sounds a little familiar, right?
Yeah, that's the same guy. That's the same guy. So I just stole it.
Hey,
This.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, hey, what's that whole? Isn't it a whole like bondage type like sound or something? It's like that Matrix aesthetic. Everybody's got leather on. You feel me, man?
Yeah, for real. I don't know. There's definitely crossovers. Yeah, you have to be like a literal person to
Here,
be
I
into
can
that
play it.
shit. Like liberals are not
Does
into
that sound
like.
alright too?
Go for it.
I don't want the volume to be over like
No, I
bearing
can't
while
hear
you're
it.
talking.
I
No,
can't hear
go
that
ahead,
shit.
man. Oh, here I can bump it up even more. Hey, how did you come up with your name and everything?
So yeah, so we got I was born and raised in Montebello,
Okay.
323, West Coast, East LA, you know?
Okay. You in the West Coast then? Hey,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know. Sometimes I kind of thought you were in the like Midwest or East Coast or something. I don't know why I got that vibe, man.
No,
Have you been out there?
go
You
for it.
been out here your whole life?
Yeah, I've been out here my whole life. Did some traveling. Yeah,
Where
we'll,
where
we'll,
are
we'll
some
chop it up
places?
after this. We'll chop it up after
Where are
this.
some pla- where are some places you've been to where some stages and stuff? And yeah, you good, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, my bad. I'm still trying to figure out the volume and everything. No, where's some places
How
you
are you good?
travel to and everything outside of Cali?
I'm not a big traveler. I'm like a super introvert. I'm like a homebody kind of guy. Um,
Yep. I heard
I don't
that.
really
I'm the
get
same
energy.
way. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't really get energy from traveling and meeting a lot of people, but lately I've been practicing it. Extroversion is pretty important to practice for, especially if you want to be successful in business. There's no way you could just not talk to anybody and not be successful. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a pretty big presence too, because sometimes it doesn't always correlate. But I mean, I seen you do all the videography and like you have a couple different hustles outside of the music also. So I like seeing people expanding beyond that. Like you got a real hustle mentality. It doesn't matter if you're introverted, bro. I'm the same way.
Yeah. But it's true though, because I would say no matter what job you get hired at, like for example, I used to work at a Chipotle. There's no way I can not
Oh
talk to
yeah,
anybody and be
yeah.
successful as an employee. I have to like constantly engage with people, and it's valuable for business. Like no matter what, how I feel,
Hey,
engaging with people.
I was at one similar to that. I won't drop the name, but yeah, making were you like a line cook or what? I was cranking out them burritos every day for like a
Yeah,
year,
I
man.
was a I
Straight.
was a
Oh.
I was a tortilla foo. I was a salsa foo. I was all of them.
Yeah, all that. Oh no, that's right, bro. You're taking me back. Hey, no respect to you, man, for doing that. This music is hard to work it out once you come from that, and I'm the same way. I hate talking. Hey, how does it affect with shows and then everything? You perform or like I get butterflies in my stomach, you know?
Dog, every show I have to do, I have to drink a little bit. There's no way I can go sober
You're
and
right.
like
Yeah,
feels good,
yeah.
But
Have you performed sober yet, or is it something you're just like, ah, shit, it's not me, you know?
well, even sober, I feel like kind of narcissistic. I feel kind of like an attention whore, when people I'm like
Mm.
trying to perform like, yo, look at me. But I'm a big comedy
I
guy. I
mean,
love
is it
comedy.
that's
Go ahead.
part of the job. I don't mean to cut you off, but isn't it part of the job to be like, oh, it's part of my ego and stuff. That's why they always say it's hard for artists to get along, you know?
Exactly, yeah. It's valuable though. And like but I was gonna say I come from the comedian grind. Like I love comedians and their story of like eating shit, like for years, doing open mics, like building up
Oh,
that.
right, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
The, Laugh Factory type things when you doing man, them they got a grind kinda similar to underground artists where it's just
awesome.
like, you gotta do 100 shows that are just, like, terrible before you get, an actual break, man. So I can
Exactly.
res
Yeah.
Hey, who are some of your favorites then?
So, some of my favorites, I would say that influenced my sound to what it is this day would be Bones, obviously, Suicide Boys, obviously. But you did ask me where I got my name from. So
Oh, yep, yep.
back in high school, like 2016, or rather, excuse me, 2012, I got into like EDM and like DJing like EDM trap music.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Do
was
you
on that.
do, you do live mixing, you have, like, your own DJ type setup,
I do,
everything?
yeah. So I got
Hey, I
into
mean
hip hop through
Oh, go
EDM.
ahead, go
So
ahead.
I was a DJ for like local parties around here. Shout out to my homie DJ Juice. He passed away. I used to open up for him all the time. He was a
Hey, my
big
condolences, man.
local DJ. But yeah,
I'm out in I'm out in Vegas. I know the whole EDM grind is a good, transition, man. I have respect for that. I've never been that's a hard thing. I have respect for that. If you don't do it, man, how do you keep it balanced, or is it a different mentality from when you rap?
uh, I would say it made me appreciate more high quality production as opposed to just like rapping. So
Right, right.
I see more. My music experience focuses on like production as opposed to I'm just a rapper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I've
You're
always been
more
a student of hip hop, and
Are
I've
you
always loved.
someone who's like a, you're like an alchemist kinda guy, or what kind of producers do you like as far as hip hop, you know what I mean? Because some people they're kinda like, on a different level with it, like, I don't know how to explain it if that makes sense.
Yeah, so, what comes to mind is so that's what I was saying, like, I used to DJ with my homie Zach Lyons. So originally it was a two-piece project. So originally
Okay.
LSDMTHC was, me and my homie Zach Lyons. We used to just hella DJ EDM shit, you know?
Right.
Um, but I was always a student of hip hop during that time. I would, like, take acid and, like, freestyle, like, write poems and shit. And then one time I took it to school. I took a poem that I wrote on acid to school.
Okay.
And I let my homie, read it, and he was like, "Dude, this is sick." He's like, "You should do rap." He's like, "This is like this rapper from Minneapolis called Idea." And I don't even know who that was, but he was close friends
Okay.
with Atmosphere. Do you know Atmosphere?
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, Atmosphere is
What
a
style
Midwest
of,
rapper.
rap they do?
Yeah, he's like a Midwest rapper, so he's super underground rap. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so he was close friends. Atmosphere was close friends with Idea, and Idea has like this psychedelic philosopher kind of rap music. So that inspired me to check his music out, and I was like, oh, there's people like me doing like not just like
Like,
gangster
out of the
shit.
box kinda stuff. Yep, yep.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
that
see,
gangster shit. You know?
I don't know. See, look, you in LA and you already are out of the box, bro. Everyone's really kind of doing cookie cutter kind of flows. It's like it's really different. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't even say I don't even know what I make. Would you say it's like magic type rap? Would you say it's just your own like unorthodox kind of thing? How do you describe it?
Well, I described it to my therapist as like sometimes my music makes a lot of sense to people, and sometimes my music makes absolutely no sense to people. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a dream, but I consider it psychedelic because uh, in psychedelics you're thrown into these crazy dimensions, but it's up to you to be strong and kind of go through that and then bring back meaning from those experiences. So I kind of treat my music as like a psychedelic experience, and I just bring everything
Hey,
together.
do you still is it something you still use with the music and everything? Currently, I'm not doing any psychedelics, but I used to do the shrooms and that in the past, but I've only had like one or two good trips. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really built for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to do it a lot, but I already got the message, so I put down the phone. I was on that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was on that hotline for a while.
That's the same way. I was like, okay, after so many times, it's like, how many? What else am I gonna learn new? You feel me?
Yeah, exactly. You got the phone call already. Like, I don't need a yap forever, man. I got the message.
Hey man, I heard
Yeah,
that.
dude.
Hey,
But
how are
in
some?
terms of now,
Go
uh,
ahead.
I would say drugs ruined my life in a sense. Like, I had a lot of
Okay.
stress and mental health issues that drugs definitely like made worse. But drugs also saved my life. So I take psychiatric medications for like mental health issues as well, and drugs saved my life too.
Hey, it's not something I mean to come on my channel and promoting everything, but I understand it, bro. It's a how do you say? It's like a love hate relationship. That's what you putting into words, really.
Right. I'm pro drugs, but I try to stay
He
away from that.
said, "What's the opposite of the dare one?" That's what you are, man.
I'm pro liberty. I'm pro drugs. Like the first place I ever went
I heard
to
that.
before I even took acid was the library. I went straight to the library to learn everything about it. I wanted to know, is it
Yep.
truly, how dangerous is it? And I came
Well,
across
I
a lot
also
of
feel like I don't want to paint the whole picture of well, look, I don't want to get off track from the music, but it's also psychedelics is separate from other drug abuse and everything, in my opinion.
yeah, definitely. Like just to get into this real quick, psychedelics are really only illegal because the anti-war movement, like psychedelics were fueling the anti-war movement, and people were becoming
Mm.
liberated through psychedelics. And
When did that start and everything? Was it in the 60s during
yeah, in
the
the 60s.
revolution?
So in the 60s, even when LSD first came onto the scene, psychiatrists were curing alcoholism like in crazy rates. Like one trip that someone takes acid, they were curing alcoholism for like a long time.
Oh, they
And
didn't
even
have the cravings or the urges for it or something?
yeah, it was like completely cured. Like it's pretty much it's like a mindset because I smoked cigarettes before. Like it's kind of like a mindset. Once you realize you're wasting a lot
Mm.
of money and you're cutting off years of your health, like you just got to shift your mindset a little bit, and then it makes you stronger and able to manifest your strength in that regard.
Hey, well, look, we can talk about that too. I had some written questions and stuff, but while I'm here, we'll just be real, man. I used to, well, not used to, I still smoke. I smoked the Marlboro Reds, but do you still smoke or did you quit or anything? That's something I'm like, okay, if I realistically want to do music, I gotta kick that, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, I picked up a bad habit of smoking at my last internship in a Mixed Wizard studio. They were hella
Oh
smoking
shit.
cigarettes, so I was just
No,
like
yeah, yeah.
smoking all day.
You're
But
like, you ever seen that meme where he's the what's the one from where he's has all the conspiracies on the board and the cigarettes and everything and his I can't remember
yeah,
the name. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You were
yeah, yeah,
like
he has
him.
like all the stuff connected, right?
Hey man.
That's it. Yeah, I still smoke a cigarette once in a while. Tobacco is definitely no doubt bad for you, but they say that nicotine is actually good for your brain and actually prevents Alzheimer's. So
Mm.
theoretically, someone with Alzheimer's, if they hit a cigarette or hit nicotine, it
Yeah,
stimulates
well,
the
and
motor
there's so many different methods too. Now they got yeah, like you said, the vape. They got the Zen and shit. Still haven't tried that one, but I tried the patches or I've been around fools who do chew and spit, all that.
Yeah, dude, nicotine is a problem though now, dude. All the kids are vaping. Like that shit's horrible for
We
sure.
kind of like in a modern resurgence of like a 60s type era, bro. A lot of people doing psychedelics, the government trying to strict down on like certain things. It's like it's really weird repeating history.
Yeah. Uh, I don't see psychedelics becoming nationalized at all. Like even if weed is still federally
Mm.
legal, there's no way. It's gonna another decade, huh?
Yeah, are they legal in aren't they illegal in Oregon and Washington or is it just Oregon?
Well, just like California, it's like it's the state decided that there's a little more
Okay.
freedom. But also, I was reading that even with the legalization of cannabis, that there's more cases of schizophrenia in young kids because the weed is pretty strong, and they're doing the Delta 9 shit. The Delta 9 shit is
Oh
causing like
yeah.
psychosis in people too. Like remember when
Hey,
Spice was doing
I
that shit?
just yep, yep. I just
Remember
seen the
Spice?
whole expose on Stizzy and everything is causing all the like the brain issues and the short term memory loss, bro. I low key need to look more into it and start cut back too. But it's a common people say it isn't an addiction, but it's 100% an addiction. You feel me? If you can't quit, it's an addiction, just like anything.
Yeah, it's a liability, man. Just to get back to business, like I love weed, man. I got weed right here. I got some blue dream
Yeah,
right
no,
here.
yeah, I heard that. I heard that, bro.
But yeah, man, we can go back to the questions. Like if you want to ask some
Oh,
questions.
you good. See, I didn't mean to get off track, but really, I mean, you're an artist, bro. I'm an artist too, and I feel like when I do podcasts, it's the same kind of bullshit questions. And sometimes if they don't do music, bro, they can be a little off-putting. It's like, come on, it feels uninspired. So I'm trying. Yeah, it's more of like for personality and shit. This is you, man. You're an artist. It can go any direction you want.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Appreciate it.
But hey, well, shit. Well, we do have the platform, bro. Is there anyone you want to shout out or any projects you have coming up, or do you like working with collabing with people?
Dude, I love collabing. Honestly, I've never. I feel so alone when I make music by myself. I feel super selfish. Like when I share the experience with someone else, that's how I got into hip hop. Like my first ever
Right.
dabbling with hip hop. Like I was saying, like well, recording hip hop, not the poem that I wrote on acid, but like actually recording. I was in the studio with my homie, and we were just having fun. Like literally just having fun.
Was he also an artist or an engineer or something like that?
Yeah, he was an artist and engineer. I would say he was more passionate about new ideas as opposed to us sounding like regular LA rappers, you know? So that's what made me interested
Mhm.
in dabbling with rap, because I was like, we don't need to sound like
Hey,
everybody else. Like, we were inspired also by Underachievers and Flatbush Zombies. I was like, why can't we be the West
oh,
Coast
okay.
Flatbush Zombies or Underachievers, you know?
Flatbush is a big one, man. I do not know why more like Vegas is the same way where it's oh everyone wants to have like a Blueface kind of flow or something, and that's fine too. But man, I heard Flatbush back in the day. That's a really good one to bring up. I like
Yeah,
Zombie and Juice and all them. There's one record I can't think of the name. That's
yeah,
something really underground. He recorded at his mother's grave or grandmother's grave. I can't remember the story. They're a good group, man. Hey,
yeah.
so
So
you wanted to
I
be like
feel like
the West Coast example?
exactly. So I feel like we could open up for people like that, and even Absol.
Hmm.
Like those
Oh,
crossovers
yep.
is basically like what we're trying to get. We're trying to get those kind of people, you know?
It's more
But
like
also,
spiritual kind of. Are you spiritual or religious? That's one question I have on here. Some you don't gotta answer straightforward if you don't want to, but
I would say
it's
yes
up to
and
you.
no. I would say in terms
Okay.
of religious, yes and no, because I grew up super secular. I wasn't traumatized by Christianity or Catholicism or any type of Bible, you know.
Mm,
But I did learn a lot of Christian values and a lot of Christ values that I still
right.
practice. But I wasn't traumatized necessarily by following the Bible.
It wasn't like something forced down you or something like against your will. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm super open-minded and secular about it and skeptical about it. But yet, I consider myself a Thelemite, which in Thelema, we kind of bring science and religion together. So we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater,
Okay.
and we're not super superstitious. We're just like still rational, but still
You
can
kind of
appreciate
like kind
the
of
divine
hearing
will.
both sides of the argument.
Exactly, man. Because in the land before, like soap, being virtuous, being clean, being orderly,
Right.
being good, it gave you life, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. We can talk. I mean, even that back to indigenous and everything. I was watching different videos on how they used to floss or bathe and everything in ancient society or in ancient Rome and everything. They just had them giant tubs. It's like, yeah, we take that for granted. All those common toothpaste, all that kind of things, deodorant.
Yeah, man. So I consider myself um open-minded to all religion, but yet I'm still skeptical, you know. I'm still pretty skeptical.
Well, do you have a label on it, or you say you're just like you're just spiritual overall? It's not like you're labeling it, or I mean, that's up
I
to you
label
though.
myself as a Thelemite, so I
Okay.
practice. It's are you familiar with Thelema? Have you heard about that?
No, I'm honestly not. That's why I don't really want to. I don't want to do you a disservice and try and ask anything about it. But you can tell me about it if you want, because honestly haven't heard about it.
Yeah, so Thelema, if I was trying to sell it to you, if I was like a Scientologist trying to sell it to you right now, I'd be
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, the Scientology salesman.
if I was that fool right now, I'd be like, look, Thelema is about will. So Thelema is Greek for the word will, capital WILL.
Okay,
So normally in like monotheistic religions, it's about doing God's will, right?
right.
But in Thelema, it's about doing what thou wilt. So you
Okay.
find your true potential, you find your true will, and you try to manifest that. But it's do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. But love is the law. Love under will. So you need to operate your true will and your will under it operates under love. The underlying thing should be love where you operate on still.
Is it a more love based or more a will kind of free thinking kind of based religion? Would you say?
I would say it's a little both. So
Okay.
um it's very open-minded and progressive in terms of when it was written, it was illegal to have like gay partners and like lesbian partners
Okay.
and
When
weird
was
kind
it
of stuff.
written? When did it originate? If you know, I don't mean to drill you on it, but
Yeah,
I'm just honestly curious.
so it was written by the British occultist Aliester Crowley in the 1900s.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, so when I hit you up, look, I mean, I don't mean to expose you, but when I hit you up, the profile picture was a Aliester Crowley one.
yeah,
So the occult is all to me. I'm on beginner status. I'm the same way. I grew up Christian and everything, but I don't shut it out. I have these.
yeah,
Well, and I'm Hispanic, so I have those beliefs. But tell me more. Honestly, I want to learn more about all these kinds of different things, bro.
yeah. So check it out. I'm a noob too in terms of Thelema, but from what I've
Okay.
read, um, Alistair Crowley was actually super Christian. So he grew up only reading the Bible. So his parents
Right.
His parents, I believe his dad was a pastor, and he also had an alcohol company.
Oh
He was
shit.
brewing beer,
That
so they
sounds
had
like a Christian kind of route thing to do. Not to show shame. I know some people like that is all.
yeah. So Crowley's dad had like a beer company, and when his parents passed away, he inherited all this money. But he was only reading the Bible. He only read the Bible his whole life, so he knew that shit like front to back.
He was an expert in it.
Yeah, he was an expert in it. So with all this money that he inherited and shit, he started traveling to the East. He started getting like Eastern philosophies and Western philosophy and started synthesizing it together. So that's why,
Mm.
if you really look at Thelema, it's actually an aggregation of Eastern society and Western society and combining it together. And
Eastern as in like Hindu or Muslim or Buddhist,
yeah,
those kinds of
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Okay.
So in Thelema, there's this thing called the Gnostic saint. So it's saints from all different types of religions that we honor, and we get all their wisdom, and we kind of like synthesize it together. So the
Mm.
Buddha is a saint. Even the philosopher Nietzsche is one of the saints in Thelema.
Right.
Even Carl Jung is considered like up there as a saint, even though he's not like religious, but he's considered useful because, like I said, we're trying to bring like science and religion together, and not
I,
be yeah.
that sounds interesting, and I respect that one. I'll probably have to look more into it. I like the idea of different saints in that are in different religions that are recognized by other religions. I feel like I need to look more into it. I don't know why some are recognized and some aren't. Not in Thelema, but in
Yeah.
some cases they're like, oh, Jesus was also a saint, but so and so wasn't. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know what the
literally.
difference is.
Someone asked me yesterday, like, what are my thoughts on Jesus? Because I had a Thelema star. I had a unicursal hexagram, which is one of the symbols that they use in Thelema.
Right.
He's like, he thought I was probably going to talk shit about Jesus, and I was like, no. I was like, I fuck with Jesus, bro.
He thought it was a Satanist kind of a star or something. Those are all different,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there's or
Yeah. Yeah.
even the Star of David is different. Like, come on now.
Yeah. A lot of people associate Crowley with Satanism and things like that, but it's definitely misinformation. And if you want to go as far as saying disinformation from a lot of like Christians and stuff like that. But I'll say this. Also, too, it incorporates also a lot of psychedelics. So he was the first person in Western society to even like take peyote, for example, and write about it in a
Oh
scientific
yeah.
manner. And this was in the
Peyote.
90s.
That's what they say in the South down there, man. That's how they do it. Hey,
Yeah,
I didn't know he was on that. That's crazy. Ain't no way.
yeah. So are you familiar with the writer Aldous Huxley? He wrote about psychedelics like in the early.
I know the name, but I wouldn't say I could know what he wrote. But what did he was it just psychedelics and everything? LSD?
He wrote on peyote like in like the 40s, I believe,
Oh shit. Okay.
and in it he references. He's like the only other person who would know about this is AE, but he spelled it in a way that's ether. AE is
Mhm.
like a backwards
Oh,
E.
like the symbol kind of.
Yeah, yeah. So AE, and Aliester Crowley always used AE for Aeon because he was trying to facilitate a new Aeon of Horus. So in my opinion, he's referencing Aliester Crowley in that book, and so that's even more evidence
Yeah.
that Crowley was like a scientist for psychedelics, like one of the first in
I
Western
think that's
society.
I think writing on drugs is that's a whole interesting thing to me too. Because I mean, Fear and Loathing, Hunter S. Thompson always been interesting. I don't know how he would write articles on as many drugs as he's on. I mean, it's with rap. It's kind of the same thing. It's like a Gonzo style writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely do automatic writing stuff for my music, and also I was gonna say too. Yeah, a lot of inspiration for Thelema too comes from one of my favorite Thelemites. His name is Jack Parsons. He was like a rocket scientist. He was one of the first people to even come up with the idea of rocket fuel
Okay.
for to get us even into space. So his name was Jack Parsons, and he founded JPL. So it's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, but really it was Jack Parsons' lab.
Real actual rocket scientist.
Yeah, he was a scientist, but he was not only a scientist without a degree in chemistry, but he innovated rocket fuel without a degree in chemistry, and he was closely like friends with Aliester Crowley. He used to like
Mm.
write him letters and stuff. They had correspondences.
When was
Same with
Alistair
Thelema.
Crowley around? Wasn't it in the was it the late 1800s, 1900s? This was a while ago.
Yeah, 1900s. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man!
yeah.
Coming up with rocket fuel or trying to think like about outer space back in that time must have been that's a
So,
different
so,
level of thinking.
so Jack Parsons was this was the 50s and 60s, I believe.
Okay, so
Is
is
that
it
is that
that's like the space race kind of age and everything
exactly. So we went to the moon in '69, and Jack Parsons actually died a little bit before that, but we still ended up going to the moon because of Jack Parsons.
because of his invention. Hey, and you know what? Look, I'm the same way. You're not a moon denier or a moon conspiracy kind of guy. That's like I'm a big conspiracy guy. I'm like I kind of feel like we did that shit. You see like 100 people standing there on the ship, bro. And I've been to DC. I seen the rover. I'm like I don't know. That shit feels like it's been on the moon to me, dog. Maybe I'm lying though.
I heard this idea. We 100% went to the moon, but
Okay.
the content, the press that was given out was allegedly falsified. Like the actual footage
Oh,
is
the
falsified.
footage does, but maybe
Only
they
only
actually
only
did an
for marketing
expedition.
reasons. Only for us to market for other countries to not feel like they're gonna do it first. Like so it looks like we did it first, even though we actually
I
did it, you know.
I feel like by the time it all, if there's some way to actually prove 100%, like it'll be a hundred years late. We'll be already working on Mars and everything. Like that's the next level of thinking.
No, there's no way. Like even Elon Musk, like there's a lot of evidence that we still go there to this day.
Well, it's also just the amount of, it's the amount of people who are like, oh, I was an engineer, or I was like, you know how many different moving parts it takes to get a company to work. I don't think they're all in on it. You know what I mean? It's maybe they are. Shit. I won't pick sides on that one.
Yeah, I think it's still fun. It's still fun to contemplate like things like that. But it
Oh,
could it could drive you
I eat
crazy.
that shit up. I eat that shit up for, day and night, bro. I'm the same way. Look, I don't like going to the clubs or drinking. I promote my music and then I'm just like conspiracy mode, dog. It's hard to kind of keep it together sometimes.
Well, my favorite conspiracy theorists are actually Jim Mars. Shout out to Michael Desarian. He has a whole like conspiracy
Okay.
podcast that is
Yep.
also really occult based. So I learned a lot about tarot and the occult from this conspiracy podcast. Like they're
Yep.
actually
Yep.
they cross over a lot, like the occult and conspiracy, because
And I mean, if it's done right, bro, it can be done right. I'm not out here trying to be like a TikTok version of nothing, bro. Like I want to do proper research on whatever I'm into or talk about, obviously, as anyone should.
yeah, we could bring it back to the '60s too. Like I was saying, like it's a documented conspiracy that they literally made psychedelics illegal to stop the anti-war movement, and
Mhm.
all that energy, that free energy, was like it even created Kennedy. Like Kennedy was riding off the energy off the '60s, and it got so progressive that the government was like, "Nah, you're out of here, bro."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep,
Hey, that's see another conspiracy we can tackle right there, the JFK one. I buy that one right there because I've
me too.
I've
Yep.
done. My dad's always watching them documentaries and everything. I've watched a million of them growing up. I'm like, bro, there ain't no way. You feel me, bro? Especially with the gun he had, bro. It's like ain't no way. Come on.
Yeah, dog. Even
Hey,
dude,
how do you feel about the Trump one? I don't want to get too controversial, but I did see. I'm like, his ear looks normal to me, bro. But I seen it bleeding from the shot, so I'm not gonna take sides. I just don't understand it.
hmm. Well,
I mean,
they
shit,
say
bro.
they
I don't
say
mean to put you. I don't mean to put you on the hot seat, dog. I'm just
I kind of
asking,
figured
bro.
out.
I
Like
just like
they say,
that's one I had off top.
I think it's fascinating the idea that they say it's an act of God that he missed, but yet
Oh yeah,
how is it an act of
he
God
hit
that
he he hit someone else, right? Then someone died. That's the part where I'm like, I don't think he faked it because then you fake
exactly,
someone dying on top of it, right?
exactly. How could it be faked or an act of God if
Maybe it's
yeah,
just makeup or something. He go before he goes on TV. Look, I'm not trying to
that's a
come
good
at
point.
Trump
That's a rational
sideways or
point.
nothing,
That's a
but I'm
rational
just
point.
right. I was just kind of like, why wouldn't he have a bandage or whatever, dog? That's on me.
But it
Hey,
leads to a lot of irrational thinking because just like 9/11, there was a lot of negligence that could have prevented 9/11 possibly, and a lot of negligence that could have prevented that guys be getting on the roof to begin with.
Hey, I like, you know what? Honestly, we can go conspiracy mode. But the 9/11 one to me, even though there's like, okay, they knew about a plane hijacked ahead of time or whatever, it's the same kind of thing like Pearl Harbor. They knew ahead of time, but like, okay, 3 or 4 hours ahead of time, not like a week advance, like people kind of think in their mind.
Yeah, so to the law, negligence is still someone has to be accountable. Still someone has to
Mhm.
be accountable.
It always comes down to like that one or two guys who were like, "Oh, I missed the call," or "I missed like whatever it was, bro." And it was it's like the butterfly effect thing, right? They say one thing can change it all.
Yeah, and also Aliester Crowley has this book called Magic Without Tears, where a lot of students of him like write questions and he answers it right. And he has this one chapter about coincidences. So he documents like he has a very thorough magic diary. So he documents his whole day and stuff.
Mm.
and he documented a bunch of synchronicities, like a bunch of numerology, like he sees all over the place, and basically he reduces it to like there could be so many coincidences stacked in 1 second of your life that it feels like God is speaking to you like right now, you know?
Oh, it and sometimes you're looking at something the perfect way, or you know, the Fibonacci sequence, like how nature will look perfect. Maybe it'll align with that, where you're like, oh, maybe nature or God is speaking to me through this. You know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you can start making connections when it's really just coincidences that feel like a different
Hey,
reality.
honestly, this is dope. See, look, this is what I'm talking about. This podcast, look, you can come on and talk music, but if you want to come on and talk about anything else, I'm gonna look. You said it was Thelema, right? Honestly, I need to
Thelema, yeah, Thelema.
type that shit in. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab
Is
some more
it?
water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, you good.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get. All right.
Yo, yo.
Water break, water break, water break. Look,
Yes,
I need
sir.
to make a pause transmission music or something, dog, and then it could take a break. Hey, we'll start. If you don't mind, we can start wrapping it up because we're getting deep into it. But
Yeah, let's
I
get to those
really
questions.
appreciate you, man. This is good conversation. I appreciate the fuck out of you.
Of course, bro.
Hey, shout out any projects you got. Oh, you know what? Last question. I'll do this. What's
Yeah.
the difference between LSDMTHC from, you know, like Nebula and everything to your new music? Because I seen you just have new music
I would
compared to
say
like 5 years ago.
I would say it's not much different except I'm a little more aware of my occult practices. So before we were just like we were non-practicing occultists, just like reading and like putting that energy into the
You were
music.
like students of it, or you're just learning about it.
Exactly, yeah. So now I have like at least like 5 years of practicing as an occultist, and if you hear my music more now, uh, there's more specific references to actual practice and understandings that we didn't have early on. You know, we're more like
Yeah,
dabbling with
that's
like the edginess of the occult. You know,
right. That's that level I'm kind of at right now, and I don't want to ever put any wrong names or anything. Because I said
yeah,
someone earlier today, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna interview this guy. He does like magic rap," and
yeah,
they're like, "What?" They think like probably like guy in top hat or something. But you know what I mean? Like I understand the rituals, I understand angel magic, but I'm still
yeah,
learning because I don't want
yeah.
to say something crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, just like metal bands, like Judas Priest, for example, they used to think they were Satanists and shit like that, but really the singer was like a super devout Christian. But there's just a lot of like edgy and occult imagery in their music, so they automatically label them as a Satanist. You know?
hey, there's a couple heavy metal bands like that. Now that you brought it out, I can't think of the other one, and it's literally just a Christian band. But I mean, they're all hardcore. I don't think your beliefs are part of you, but they don't define you. You understand me?
Yeah, but I
I
get it.
mean,
I
like
get it. Like it's so easy because like even like with metal, like there's a lot of satanic imagery specifically, but that doesn't mean necessarily that they're practicing Satanists. You know?
Yeah,
But yeah,
bro. And then
disclaimer:
you
we do
can
have a
have
music
regular.
video. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, you can go to that. I was gonna say you can have regular guys too who are doing crazy things, but
Yeah,
then they
look. So
have a
I have
different
an
belief. You
audiobook.
know?
I have a rare
Oh,
audiobook
this
right
one,
there of Jack
Jack
Parsons.
Parsons.
So that
I didn't mean to skip past it.
yeah, yeah. So I was gonna say this. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say oh yeah, disclaimer though. We do have a music video that says in the beginning that we're practicing occultists and Satanists, but that's just like a joke.
Okay, you're not
Yeah.
actually assigning to them beliefs. Look, and I'm not gonna grill you. I'm not a Christian YouTuber and anything, dog.
No, I
But
love Christians,
bro,
dude. I love
some
Christians.
some people trip. Sometimes I do. Do you ever get that? If you reach out to artists, they're like, "Oh no, bro, this is demonic or whatever." Because I had that happen a couple of times. I'm like, bro, come on. I don't even. I'm not like that, you know.
I honestly lose a lot of work because even with my name, even with my practices, a lot of people just think I'm a Satanist. They're
Mm.
like, nah, I'm not gonna even give you work, you know?
Straight up. No, it's straight up. It's hard to keep your personality, but then be professional about it too. I can understand the fuck out of that one. Here,
Yeah,
and
even
look,
even
I
when I
like it, and I'll how do you save this for later? I'll save it, and I'm gonna check some of this stuff out. I wrote down Thelema, man. I appreciate you. Do you have any new projects or any last minute things before I kick you off and end the stream? Okay, wrap it up.
yeah,